What do you need to take care of before baby arrives? Well, one thing is setting up the nursery for the baby, but what many parents forget is that preparing a nursery is not so much about putting a bunch of colorful toys and pillows in baby's bedroom. It's about making sure that things are safe for your baby,
Yeah.
particularly when it comes to minimizing the risk of the sudden infant death syndrome, right?
Exactly. So in this video, we are going to discuss what safety factors are important when it comes to your baby's crib, how to place the crib in the nursery, and very important, what to look out for when buying a mattress.
Yes, this is Natalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Matthias, a researcher and science geek, and we help expecting mummies and their babies naturally and science-based.
Yes, so how do you set up a nursery in a safe way?
When we talked about baby essentials last week, lots of parents downloaded our PDF file that provided them with an overview of the most important baby essentials you need.
Yes, and so we decided to create another PDF for this video that contains all the safety aspects and other things about setting up a nursery that we are going to talk about, just to make things easier for you, right? So watch this video first and then simply click the link in the description below this video and download our file. Alright, so obviously initially after baby is born, many parents just go with a bedside sleeper as long as baby is very little. And that's great, right? However, eventually baby will most likely sleep in their own nursery, right? Now, when it comes to a nursery, obviously the two most important pieces of the puzzle are the crib, or cot as we say here in the UK, right? And the mattress. And we are going to see in just a second how choosing the right products can help eliminate safety hazards and even reduce health-related risks. So let's start with the crib.
Yes. So when it comes to buying a crib, it is good to know that in many countries there are official safety guidelines that manufacturers have to adhere to when manufacturing cribs. However, those safety guidelines may change over time, and because of that, it is generally a good idea to buy one of the more recent models when buying a crib.
Exactly. Of course, you can also go second-hand, right? But then it's important to check if there are any known flaws when it comes to the model you intend to buy, and why that product may have been discontinued.
Yeah.
The other thing is that obviously the internet has opened up new possibilities when it comes to ordering cribs from other countries with cheaper production costs. And so oftentimes we see parents buy directly from manufacturers from those countries, right? Now, of course, you can certainly do that. However, when you do, please keep in mind that those products may have not been manufactured according to the safety regulations for cribs in your own country, right?
Exactly. In those cases, it can be a good idea to first talk with the manufacturer about what they do to make sure that their products are safe. And to give you an idea about what such safety regulations for cribs look like, we posted a link in the description below this video that contains the federal requirements in the United States.
Exactly. And the other thing is, keep in mind that you will also need a mattress that fits the dimensions of the crib. So if you live, say, in the States and buy a crib, let's say in Asia, you have to make sure that the dimensions are such that you can also find a fitting mattress in the States. Unless, of course, your order from Asia contains a crib and mattress, right? So that's the crib.
When choosing a mattress for your baby's crib, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, really important, please buy a firm mattress.
Yes, we have come across cases when parents just bought very soft mattresses, or even worse, inflatable mattresses for their baby's crib. This should not be done, right?
Exactly. Just imagine that air leaks from a little hole in an inflatable mattress. In that case, it can happen that you won't notice how your baby sort of sinks into the mattress at night, which can be a very dangerous situation for your baby.
Yeah, so let's say your baby turns on the tummy at night, which you know can happen when they grow older, right? When you have a very soft mattress, there is gonna be a small depression on the mattress. Is it called depression at all? I'm not even sure. Anyways, I think you know what I mean, right? So my point is, because of that depression, there is a higher chance for your baby to rebreathe their own carbon dioxide when baby's head sort of sinks into the mattress, right? And this can be very risky. For example, it can increase the risk of the sudden infant death syndrome, right? And because of that, please only buy a firm mattress.
Exactly. The second thing to look out for when buying a mattress is that it has to fit the dimensions of the crib. You should not be able to fit more than one finger between the mattress and the crib.
Yeah.
In fact, ideally, there should be no gap between the mattress and the crib at all.
Yes. Third, use a crib sheet that fits tightly, like you don't want wrinkles and the likes, right? It really has to fit tightly.
Exactly. And then fourth, there is also some research that using a used mattress can increase the risk of the sudden infant death syndrome.
Yeah, so what those studies found is that, let's say that this is baby number 2 and you intend to use the same mattress that you used for baby number 1, also for baby number 2, or even worse, you buy a second-hand mattress that some other baby used, then it seems that you increase the risk of the sudden infant death syndrome for baby number 2. More information about that in the description below this video.
Yeah.
But listen, we clearly want to point out that at this point, not much is known why that is, right? Also, the studies that do exist are really basic, and we definitely need more research on this topic. But basically, at the moment, it seems to be the safest way to buy a new mattress for your baby.
Exactly. And then fifth, please also keep in mind that oftentimes the materials that mattresses are made of contain lots of pollutants that are bad for a baby.
Yes, and because of that, what we encourage you to do when buying a mattress is to do some research which mattresses are best for babies where you live, right? Because the availability of certain mattress models is obviously different from country to country. But when you do your research, please don't fall for those review sites that just tell you what you want to hear, basically, so that you click on the link so that they earn a commission.
Yeah.
Many of those sites do not actually test any products, right? So please be extra careful who you trust.
Exactly. Before our son was born, we looked into the test results of an organization called Stiftung Warentest in Germany because they did test those baby mattresses. We had to buy those test results for like €5, but at least the results of their tests were reliable.
Yes, you would not believe how many safety hazards Stiftung Warentest found when they tested those mattresses. I mean, we are even talking about suffocation hazards, let alone pollutants and allergens, right? So again, look out for a trustworthy organization in your country that actually tests those things, and just be careful what you buy, basically.
Exactly. And then one more important thing. We know it's so cute to put all those cuddly toys in your baby's bed, but that too is a safety hazard. So the best practice here is to not place any toys and pillows in your baby's crib.
Yes, actually, the best would be not to place anything at all in your baby's bed, not even a blanket. Blankets are a safety hazard too, because baby could somehow get wrapped into the blanket and then suffocate, right? So instead of blankets, it's better to use sleeping sacks.
Yes. Finally, you may also want to consider buying a baby monitor. It's up to you. You don't necessarily need one. We didn't have one either, and we know lots of parents who don't have one. But it can add to your peace of mind being able to monitor your baby.
Yes, and just one thing, if you do buy one, make sure that you don't place it too close to your baby's head. Put it somewhere outside baby's crib where baby cannot reach it, but obviously close enough so that you see what's going on in the crib.
When it comes to placing a crib in the nursery, there are 3 things you need to consider. First of all, place the crib away from any electromagnetic fields.
Yes, it's an interesting field in research. How do electromagnetic fields affect the quality of the sleep? Either by messing with the production of the sleep hormone called melatonin, or by adding to baby's stress levels. Frankly, at this point, we don't yet know for sure. Different studies come to different conclusions. However, because scientists don't know yet, it is generally best not to place cribs next to electromagnetic fields. For example, fields coming from lamps, charging cell phones, TVs, radios and the likes.
Yes, and please keep in mind, even sockets produce such fields, no matter if something is plugged in or not. So it's best to either not place a crib next to sockets or to use sockets that come with a switch to actually turn them off.
Exactly. The next thing is ban blue light from your baby's nursery, such as from displays or toys and whatnot. Studies do show that blue light can suppress the sleep hormone melatonin. And obviously you don't want that for your baby, right? Because it will interfere with their good night's sleep.
Exactly. Next, don't place the crib next to a window for several reasons. First, you don't want your baby to be exposed to air draft. And second, you don't want your baby to be able to reach the cord from window blinds in case there are any.
Yes, and finally, please place anything grabbable out of your baby's reach. For example, we recently saw a Paw Patrol dream catcher hanging way too low over a baby's crib. Obviously, the dream catcher was super cute, right? But if your baby is able to reach it, it can become dangerous. For example, when baby grabs it and swallows pieces of it.
Exactly. So again, if you like, download our PDF file that contains an overview of everything that we have mentioned today. And in our next video, we are gonna continue with more things you need to take care of before baby arrives.
Yes, and if it is already online by the time you watch this video, it would now pop up on your screen. Unfortunately though, sometimes the pop-up function does not really work, right? And so please also check the description below this video, because this is where we would post a link to that video.
Right. If you have found this video helpful, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like below this video.
Yes, and for more useful tips and tools on pregnancy and baby related topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel and to hit the bell.